Now the floor is given to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, dear journalists. Now, the information about actions in the ATO area and also about military training in the territory of Ukraine during the last 24 hours. Yesterday in Lugansk area, the enemy violated ceasefire in the region of Popasny and twice near Krymske, that is to the north of Bakhmutska highway. Only two were precision shellings. Other instances were disturbing fire. In the Donetsk area, despite decrease in the intensity of fire, the militants continued to use mortars and artillery. In Avdiivka, the hottest area for the last several weeks, the militants launched 100 mines and 5 shells of large caliber artillery. They fired mainly during the day. Other areas of mortar use is Lugansk, north of some suburbs of Gorlovka, Nevelske, Vata region, and also the enemy repeatedly violated ceasefire in the region of the Donetsk airport. In the Donetsk area during the last 24 hours, there were 19 enemy shellings, and half of which was with the use of heavy weapons. In Mariupol area, the enemy violated fire with the heavy weapons. Then they restarted firing at 1 a.m. Then there was a lull. After this, also they restarted firing at 10 p.m. and the militants launched about 50 mortar mines at our positions. Also in Mariinka, the enemy violated ceasefire and carried out 4 provocations before sunset with the use of grenade launchers and machine guns. To the south, the militants violated ceasefire in Bogdanovka, Starognatovka, Gnutinovo, Vodane, and Shirokine. And the hottest area was Shirokine, where the militants during the day fired at the Ukrainian positions with the use of APCs. And also during the evening, for 2 hours, they used grenade launchers and small arms against our servicemen. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol area, there were 28 enemy shellings, 1/3 of which with the use of heavy weapons. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, there were no killed, and 2 our servicemen were wounded in the course of military actions, and 2 blown up by wire trap. Also, in one of the firing ground in the EU area, in the course of military training, a grenade exploded and 6 our servicemen were wounded. Also, they record supply of military equipment and ammunition, fuel and lubricant materials from the territory of Russia to the militants. According to military intelligence, 10 tanks of fuel were brought to Rovinke fuel storage facility, and also a railway echelon came to Dovzhansky, bringing military equipment. Also, Russian commanders brought to Debaltseve 2 railway cars with ammunition, and also through border in the area of Kuybyshe, Marinivka, there was some movement of military equipment, tanks, armored vehicles, artillery units, and automobile equipment. Chief Intelligence Department of MOD informs that DPR has special order of bringing this military recruiting the militants. So they established minimal term for officers, it is 5 years, sergeants 3 years, and privates 1 year. And in order to prevent the breach of contracts by servicemen, they are to pay 75% of their pay. And this is done because DPR cannot recruit people because they do not want to serve in the ranks of Russian occupation forces. Also, some testing continues of Ukrainian fleet boats Ackerman and Berdyansk. They tested mechanical parts, main units of these boats, electromechanical parts, and the officers say that these boats demonstrate good qualities. Do you have questions? TSN 1+1. So, what about the attempt to kill Igor Plotnitsky? Tsarev says that this is Ukrainian subversive activity. What can you say about it? What can you say about it? And also about the recruiters into DPR. So Ukrainian side is not involved in this attempt because this is senseless and it won't resolve any issue. And we know that in LPR this is not the first case. We remember the attempts to kill Mozgovoy and Bushuyev and Pavel Dremov. So they just fight for power in LPR. They use the same methods. So we believe that this is the consequence of internal quarrels, of trying to get power. So this is the only thing I can say. And do you have information about this attempt? No, I don't have such information. What about those who serve under contract? What is the payment? So different figures are stated, but I cannot confirm these figures. You should address to the information presented on the site of Intelligence Department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, and there is information about social and military information in the territories that are temporarily occupied. So you can find this information on the site of this organization. Thank you and goodbye.